My name is Jennifer Zaborowski, and I am the Director of IT Learning and Development at a pharmaceutical and biotech company in New York. And in that space, I am responsible for five different functions in IT that enable and empower our workforce. I lead our internship program, and I'm also responsible for ongoing data literacy in the workforce. I've been working with Debbie since about 2018. So this will be year seven, collaborating with Debbie for our staffing and resources. One of the challenges, and specifically my space, but I think it could apply more broadly to any kind of consulting. It's a biotech, so there's a sciencey element. It's a technology department, so there's the technology. And then we're providing these business enabling functions. So you need a pretty good business head on your shoulders. And it is frankly really difficult to source that kind of talent. We would find somebody who had done some tech writing, but didn't understand content management or keywording or search optimization, or we could find someone who was good at branding, but then they were struggling with technical documents. So you would hire someone who might be a good fit culturally for my employer, but it was really difficult to bring on somebody that could hit the ground running and didn't need a lot of bandwidth and focus at the beginning. Basically, if I was going to bring on a new contractor, I would need to write off 2 or 3 months of my time to get them up to speed because they were going to come in and have 50 to 65% of what I needed, and I would need to help them acquire the rest. At my company, we do rely a lot on a contractor consultant workforce. And because I'm not hiring typical IT job functions like a developer or a business analyst, my team members have kind of specialized skills, and that it's helpful if they have some familiarity with IT, but I have the knowledge management function. So, for example, I need someone with a strong online branding type of skill set. And I have a training function. And so that means we need somebody to be comfortable with training development tools. And these are very niche things to get all of those different skills and experiences to intersect. And Debbie's really the only person I've ever worked with who can reliably source and find folks like that for me. She's consistently hired really top tier talent. And amazingly, she's able to fill these really niche requirements and do a good job of it. So, one of the first things that I noticed with the resource that Debbie placed with me, who's been with us for a number of years now, is she was just so capable. But I think the biggest difference I've noticed is I would timidly say to her, "Can I give you something that's a little adjacent to what you're doing? Are you comfortable stretching to that?" And it was always, "Oh, that sounds great. Yes, I'd like to learn." So, while she's been with me, she's added additional skills and she's taken additional things off of my plate. And she's really functioning in a lead capacity in the function where she is right now. And that is really unusual with contractor workforce, and that there's a defined scope because you have hired a defined skill set. But I really appreciate with Debbie giving this particular person more responsibility. She's seen pay increases, she's seen responsibility increases. This woman in my team is functioning like an employee in the sense that she's growing and her career is having growth, even though she's functioning as a contractor. That's usually an either or. But I feel like when Debbie finds me people to join my team, she understands that I want them to take on as much as they'd like to do. And she's been so good about working with me to make that happen. I haven't had to replace people or switch up skill sets because she's done such a good job getting folks that like what they're doing, but are happy to flex and expand as well. All of the people in my team have come from Debbie over multiple years in placements. And I had an FTE reporting to me who was really struggling. And of course, I went straight to Debbie. I'm losing my knowledge lead. I will need some help finding a new one. Debbie heard me, took careful notes, and I don't think I did a very good job articulating what I needed. And she found me some really great people. And after talking to two of them, I was like, these are phenomenal candidates. They're great people. I enjoyed the conversations, but it's really focused expertise. Do you think we can find someone who can really take over from me? We're adopting a new tool to manage our knowledge. Do we really need to brand it, make it attractive, and drive people to adopt it? Do you think we can find that? And within one person, she'd shifted gears and brought me the woman that's reporting to me now, who within a couple of months developed an amazing branding strategy that we've implemented. She also was able to take over and lead the kind of adoption, engagement, stakeholder management side of it. I did not expect to ever be able to delegate that, but she's been able to take all of that over. It's all within this defined space of managing our documentation knowledge, all the things we need to do our jobs. It's everything from creating the document curating it, making sure they're looked at and approved and reviewed every year so it's current. But then she's branded it so it's this beautiful environment that people love to visit, really kind of the whole package. And the only thing I ever need to do anymore is approve the documents that I own, and she's really got the rest of it. My employer puts kind of an unusual amount of focus and emphasis and importance on our culture. And that was one of the things that attracted me to this employer. And what I really appreciate about Debbie is that she understands the importance of that. And she has a really good grasp and understanding of my team's culture. We're IT, but we're creative IT. We're IT, but we're not the super technical, typical geek squad kind of thing that people think. And she's very good at picking out people that join our team and fit right into the culture. And I appreciate her respect for how important that is and how she emphasizes that when she's looking at talent. Somebody might have every skill in the universe, but if they're not going to play with our culture, then she'll pick somebody else. And that just means with my small team, the morale in my team, people's stress levels, people's happiness levels, how well we like each other, how well we work together. We are so effective and so efficient because the personalities work, and I really appreciate that. I switched to a new manager, and I love my new manager, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to meet the 3 contractors in my team. So I had each of them present their area of expertise, and they each spoke for about 10 minutes, which is a lot when you're meeting an executive director that you've never met before. And they all did awesome. And the first thing that he said to me is, "These resources are amazing. What are you doing to make sure we keep them?" And he meant it. One of the biggest contributors, I have noticed a difference, and I'm laughing because the shortest tenure in my team is now a year, and the longest tenure of a Debbie resource is 5. So, not the world's most recent experience with this, thank you, Debbie. But I noticed that she preps folks really well before they come. They have a good understanding of what my team does. They have a really good understanding of their role. And even as we're bringing somebody up to speed, it used to take a good 3 or 4 months, and it's a matter of a couple of weeks now. Debbie's also really good about saying, "Oh, you're use Confluence in your shop. Let me get them some Confluence training. You want them to improve project management. Let's do some project management training." If there's an opportunity for them to increase their productivity, she's the first one to say, "Let me get them some training or equipment or whatever they need." And I appreciate that because that does get them from ready, productive, contributing, me not having to think about their function except in an oversight capacity in the matter of a few weeks instead of several months. I always talk about how Debbie really listens in the beginning and has a really good understanding of me and my team and what we need, not just the expertise, but also the kind of work that we do, the kind of culture we have, and the ways that we work and the ways that we interact with others. Sometimes I think she understands what I need better than I understand what I need. And so her respect for my time and her respect for the challenges that I'm having means that she's efficient and quick, but very careful about putting candidates in front of me. And she's done a great job picking people that are hyper productive, hyper efficient, really well qualified for the role, which is fantastic. But almost more importantly, they'll work well in our team and work well in our culture and get super productive because they do such a good job working with everyone else. I want to give her constant and ongoing feedback about how the folks that she shares with me are doing. And one of the things that just really endears Debbie to me is how excited and how proud of her folks she is when she finds out they've really delivered on something challenging, or they've really created something new or innovative or meaningful, or they've gotten excited feedback from a stakeholder or a leader or someone that they've worked for. And Debbie's joy and celebration and appreciation of them is so sincere and so real. She has such a big heart. And I know that she's treating folks who are contractors and employees. She sees the human side, she sees their personality, she sees their character, and she's really taking care of the whole person. She's very committed to giving them the best possible experience in this part of their career where they're trusting Debbie and I with their time and their expertise. And her level of respect and commitment is just wonderful.